Have you ever wondered how we measure the velocity of objects in space, or why the sirens of an emergency vehicle sound different as it passes by you? Well, these answers can be found in the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect is observed whenever the source of waves, whether it be light, sound, or anything else, is moving with respect to an observer. Let's say there are two observers equal distances away from a source. Both observe the same frequency and wavelength. However, when the source starts moving, these factors begin to change. As a source moves closer to an observer, the wavelength decreases and frequency increases. As a source moves further away from an observer, wavelength increases and frequency decreases. You've probably experienced the Doppler effect yourself. A common example is with sound waves, such as when a car honking drives past you. Did you notice how the car's honk was a higher pitch or frequency when it was closer to you than when the car was further away from you? This isn't because the frequency of the honk changed halfway through. For proof, here's what the driver heard from inside the car as they drove. This change in sound occurs because when you're closer to the car, each wave crest reaches you in a shorter amount of time. This means that the waves are more bunched together and have a shorter wavelength but a greater frequency. Similarly, when you're further away from the car, each wave crest takes a longer time to reach you. This means that the waves are more spread out and have a greater wavelength but a lower frequency. But how can the Doppler effect be considered a breakthrough? To answer this question, we'll have to observe the Doppler effect using light waves. On the visible light spectrum, the red side has longer wavelengths, while the violet side has shorter wavelengths. Wavelength and distance are directly proportional. So as distance increases, so does wavelength, which corresponds to a redder color. As distance decreases, so does wavelength, which corresponds to a bluer color. This can't be seen with the naked eye, but if you use the correct equipment, you'll see that everything observed in our universe is red shifted. As I said before, red equals increased wavelength, which equals increased distance, meaning that everything in our universe is moving away from each other. This is evidence that the universe is constantly expanding, perhaps from the Big Bang. This insight into our universe, in addition to many other phenomena in the world, big or small, can all be explained by one concept, the Doppler effect, proving that it's truly a breakthrough that has had a great effect on our knowledge of the world.